Hello, my name is Michelle. I will be going over your new user orientation for the Pro Web program. I am flying solo today, so unfortunately I will not be able to answer any questions at this time. Please feel free to email me later with your questions at prosupport@taxslayerpro.com. Now let's get started. The URL you will be using for tax preparation is online.taxslayerpro.com. From your login page, you will need to enter your username, password, and security code. The username and password you will be using is the one you created when creating your Pro Online account. The current default security code is in lowercase letters and is the word Apple. At this time, let's go ahead and get logged in. Once you are logged into the website, you will be on your welcome page. First, we'll go into configurations. Into your office setup. Most of this information should already be pre-filled in from the first time that you created your Pro Online account. Just verify your information, and if you're using a bank product, go ahead and select your bank at that time. You can change the login security code simply by highlighting and replacing your security code. You can choose to use the same security code, just continue through. Go ahead and enter in your office address, office phone number, and then continue. Back on your configuration menu, to your ERO setup. Again, this information should already be pre-entered. You can edit to verify the information is correct. If you have a second ERO, EFIN, go ahead and select Add, and then enter the information required. Next, you can click on Return back to your configuration menu to your Preparer setup. Currently, there should be only your name, your Preparer information set up. Click on Edit. And again, re-verify all your information is correct. To add preparers, simply click on Add Preparer. A social security number is not required, so you can just leave that field blank. Then go ahead and enter in a preparer. Enter your PTIN or your SIDN number. If you do not have a number in your data entry only, simply check mark the box. A default PIN number is required. This is the number that will represent the preparer's signature on the tax return. If you are a preparer in New York State and you have a NYTPRN number, you would just check mark your box here and go ahead and enter in that number. If you have an exemption code, also select it at that time. You will enter in your email address. This email address is in case that you forget your username and password. You will create a new username and password for your preparer. And a password. This is case sensitive. There is a security question. The security questions are used in the event that you forget your username and password. The security template, I got a little bit ahead of myself prior to setting up Prepare. Let me explain a little bit about the security template. For this demonstration here, I already have a sample set up for us. It's Full Access Prepare is how I named it. It allows certain access into the actual program itself. For now, I'm going to go ahead and select Full Access Prepare, and then I'll show you how to set up those security templates. We'll go ahead and return back to the Prepare menu and then back to the Configuration main menu. At your security templates, you can choose Add Security Template. And if you want to name it Junior Preparer, again, this is any way that you want to name it. And then you want to go ahead and make sure that you select what parts of the program you do not want them to have access to. If you don't want them to be able to mess with configuration, of course, just uncheck configuration. You don't want them to be able to edit fees, ERO setup, etc. And then go ahead and click Continue. Now, because of my mistake, we'll go ahead and jump back over here to Prepare Setup. And then you can actually edit your Preparer. And then go back down here to the security template. And then select the appropriate security template. And then continue. We can come back to the Configuration main menu. Now we'll go ahead and go into our fee setup. For your Prepare fees, you can charge a minimum Prepare fee, or you can select to choose per form basis, or you can leave it blank and do on a as needed per return basis. For this, I'm just going to go ahead and return and leave it blank and charge it on the actual tax return itself. You can set up custom fees and discounts. Simply just select Add Custom or Add Custom Discount. We're going to jump down here to Print Sets. Currently there is a default for 1 copy federal and state, 2 copy federal and state, but you can choose a print setup based on what you want the return to enclose when printing. Simply name your print setup. And then scroll through your forms and choose what you want to print out with your, for this example, client copy. Once you've selected all your forms, you can go ahead and scroll back to the top here and click on Save. Now we'll go ahead and exit back all the way to the Welcome page. To create a tax return, simply select Start New Tax Return. Enter in the social. And then Start Return. Similar to the demo, if you use the demo, just go ahead and click on the filing status. And then you'll enter in the information required. You will be required to enter in a phone number And if you're going to be using a bank product, you'll need a secondary number as well. If you have any dependents, on your income menu, you have a follow step-by-step guide me to ensure accurate entry of your income by selecting guide me, or you can enter information on your own if you're familiar with the forms by clicking on enter myself. Your deductions menu also has the same guide me and enter myself function. Also across the top you have your menu for your other taxes, payments and estimates, and miscellaneous forms. On the left hand side is your menu also to allow you to go into your health insurance questions. It's just verifying information, months that you have insurance. And then it'll take you to your state selection section. Click on Add State Return and then choose your state to complete. Once you're finished, you can go ahead and click on Continue, and it'll take you to your calculation summary page. Your calculation summary page has two options to view. One, you can choose from your you can choose from your summary, or you can click on 1040 view. And of course your 1040 view will show you the return as if you're looking at the actual 1040. When you're ready to e-file the return, you can click on Continue. On your e-file page, you can select the type of federal return and then click on Next, and then your preparation fees. If you had preparation fees set up in configuration, it'll pre-populate in there for you. If you're charging as return basis, just go ahead and enter the amount you're charging for your client. Click on Next, and then you'll choose your state return type. Then you save. Saving will take you to your submission page. From here you can go ahead and print the return. Mark it paid, mark complete. And if you're ready to save and transmit the return to the IRS, or you can save and exit the return. By selecting the back arrow will take you back to your e-file page. Choosing the back arrow again will take you back inside the actual return itself. I wanted to go ahead and notate that if you're on the calculation summary page, you can click Preview Return, and that'll go ahead and allow you to print the return at that time as well, so you don't have to go all the way out to the submission page in order to print the return for your client. Also, you do not have to go all the way out to the e-file page or the submission page in order to exit out of your client's return. Simply choose the drop-down arrow next to your client's name, and you can save and log out, or you can choose in your menu option on the left-hand side, save and exit. This will bring you back to your Welcome Tax office. If you want to check your client's status, or if you just want to continue working on a tax return, select the Select button next to Client Search. Find your client and go ahead and click on Select, and that will take you back inside the actual return. Also, from your Client Search, if you click on Tools and Client Status, It'll show you the client return history. This is where you've accessed the return. And it'll also display it if it's been accepted or rejected. On your client search page, you can also print the tax return. Okay, back on your welcome page, we're going to go into reports. The program automatically picks up acknowledgments for you. So running these reports also will show if the return has been accepted or rejected, both federal and state. If you're doing bank products, you can also see your bank reports as well, fees charged, returns that are not transmitted, returns that have been transmitted, etc. Back on the welcome screen again, transmissions. Now I showed you inside the actual tax return that you can transmit the return from inside the return itself, or you can just simply mark complete, come back to your welcome page and go into transmissions. And your list of returns ready to transmit should show up in your table here. If it does not display, you can click on Add Returns. Click on Add Returns again, and then choose your tax return. And then when you're ready to transmit, the tax client should display, inside your table here, transmit selected returns to the IRS. Because of the easy use of the ProWeb program, this concludes our webinar today. I would like to thank you for being with me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at prosupport@taxslayerpro.com. Have a great day.